Hello, I'm Dr. Salman from School System, and the name of the module is Project. So today I'm going to discuss the topic turning into project with clear research questions, and this is week 2. So what we are going to have in the end of this session, first we will learn how to turn ideas into projects with clear research questions and objectives. It's an important step in developing academic and work, how to define or how to outline a proper question and objective for this study. So we'll be learning refining research ideas into clear research questions and objectives, and in the last part of this module, this session, and we are going to learn how to develop a research project proposal. In order to define the research ideas, where to start? Indeed, overall, you should be interested in an area. It could be marketing, it could be HRM, it could be production, operations management, total quality management, sales management, digital marketing, whatever is that. First, a broader scope of your interest or your topic should be determined. Later on, we have some alternatives to refine the research question. We have some methods and approach. Simply, we will be discussing them. One is Delphi technique, another one is preliminary study, and testing our ideas, integrating ideas, and refining topics given to us by the organization as well. The first method or the technique to refine the research questions and the research topic, the Delphi technique. In a Delphi technique method, it's, as you can understand, it's like a group study, and so which covers some people who are either involved or interested in the research idea. So they don't have to be involved in research study, but they could be interested in your topic, and there could be some experts, and there could be some scholars as well. And altogether, this group will generate and choose a more specific research idea. To use this technique, what you need to brief the members of the group about the research idea. Let's say that you have started the session, and you will take your turn, and you will explain what the main research idea is or overall approaches. At the end of the brief, in order to encourage the group members, you can seek the clarification and more information as appropriate. Most probably you will be having some questions, and you will be answering them as the moderator of this session. And also you need to ask each member of the group, including originator of the research ideas, based on the idea that has been described. So one by one, you will be questioning the different aspects of the research idea. In Delphi technique, first you need to collect the research ideas in unedited and non-attributive form and to distribute them to all members of the group. It means that the raw idea, unprocessed idea, uncommented, and so untransformed idea will be brought into the table. It means that all members of the session will be contributing on that idea. Because what we are expecting the opinions and the comments of the others in this group. If you start to make comment first, after expressing the research idea, it will direct and guide the others. But you don't want to do this. We need undirected, unstructured opinions from the others in this group. And a second cycle of the process, step 2 to 4, in which they comment on the research ideas and revise their own contribution in the light of what others have said. So it's like a cycle. We are collecting the data, collecting the feedbacks from the contributors, and write them over and over again. By summarizing, we are questioning to the members once again. So it's circulated. What do you think? what does that person think, and then we are collecting all opinions. Again, after summarizing, those ideas are presented once again to each member, and another feedback is going to be received by the contributors. Subsequent cycles of the process until a consensus is reached. This is the most critical point in Delphi technique. There shall be a consensus among the contributors on a research topic. These either follow a similar pattern from step 2 to step 4, or use discussion, voting, or some other methods could be used to reach a consensus. So the consensus as a concept means the agreement of all contributors on the same topic. But it's not easy. If you are struggling to get a consensus on a topic, you can use voting or secret ballot to choose the best appropriate topic in your research. And then you will start, after generating the overall the topic of your research, next you need to write research questions. And these research questions should be consistent with expected standards. And you should be able to produce clear conclusions based on the questions. And it should be at the right level. What I mean by at right level, there are different types of the research works, such as PhD dissertation, MA, master dissertation, master thesis, or MBA project, or undergraduate project. Depending on the level of the study, we need to outline the questions. And it should be descriptive, but not too much is another thing. And we can use the Goldilock Test to outline the topic. What's the meaning of the Goldilock Test? Is about the length of the topic that you are proposing. Clough and Nuthbaum use what they call the Goldilock Test to decide if research questions are either too big, too small, too hot, or just right. And too big need significant funding, too small are likely to be insufficient substances, too hot may be so because sensitivities that might be aroused as a result of doing the research. This may be because of timing of research or the many other reasons that might upset key people who have a role to play. Just right are those just right for investigation at this time by this research institute. What I mean? For instance, COVID-19 is a hot topic. Yeah, you can take it as a research and the topic, research idea. But from which aspect are you going to do this? Are you going to do a research all around the world? So you need to outline the scope of your research in your the research question as well. For instance, you are looking for the impact of and the financial impact of COVID-19 in UK. So if you are able to implement your study all around the UK, if you are able to collect the data from all around the UK, you can have this research idea. Yeah, your research question. How did the COVID-19 affected financial situation of the small size companies, for instance? Again, you need to narrow it. So after narrowing step by step your research idea, you can put a proper title in your study. Okay. For instance, let me give you another example. Advertising and share prices. You would like to work on it. Advertising and share prices. So what could be a possible question here? How does the running of a TV advertising campaign designed to boost the image of a company affect its share price? That could be one of the questions. Or if you are taking the job recruitment via the internet, this is going to be another research idea. A convenient question could be what? How effective is recruiting for new staff via the internet in comparison with traditional methods? Okay, it could be your research question. Instead of overall focusing on job recruitment via internet, so it is very wide range of the topic. Now what we are doing, by developing a question, we are narrowing the scope of the study. because you cannot have the resources to implement this study at this level. Job recruitment via the internet. Your effort is going to be good enough to question how effective is recruiting for new staff via the internet in comparison with traditional methods. Okay, and then what do? We start with a general focus question. Later on, what we are doing step by step, narrow it. And we specify the areas of interest with the supervisor or the tutor under a supervisor, and the supervisor supervision and control. We are implementing the studies. So the question side is all right. And another thing, objective. What we need to do, we need to check our examining body's preferences for stated objectives. And we need to use a general focus question to achieve precise objectives. What is the purpose? What will we expect as a result of the study? Okay, in this process, in order to design your time and your approach to work, to study, you could develop and set smart personal objectives. And what is SMART objective, or what does it mean? SMART is the initials of some conditions. First, an objective should be specific. What exactly do you hope to achieve from undertaking the research? What is going to be your final object or final and obtaining? And it should be measurable as well. What does it mean, measurable? You should be able to determine if you are able to achieve your objective or not. The next thing is about the achievable. Are the targets you have set for yourself achievable given all the possible constraints or not? And realistic. Yeah, in different period of times, you are going to outline the activities should be implemented. You need to exercise given all other demands upon your time. Will you have the time and energy to complete the research on time? Or by another question, do you have the enough resources to take those actions in the process? The last thing is about the time boundary. What is the deadline? What time or when will you going to accomplish those objectives? So time restriction or time limitation should be always in place. All right. So, yeah. What will be the contribution of the theories in this process? And mostly, if you are asking for opinions and gathering facts, what questions will be giving you descriptive research methods? What is this? So you are trying to identify a phenomenon or a concept. And another thing, using questions that go beyond description and require analysis, why question? And you are looking for the reason behind the phenomena or facts. So why questions are providing them? In order to explain a phenomenon, in order to predict outcomes, in order to analyze the relationship, in order to compare and generalize, what we are doing, we are using both what and why. Descriptive or explorative studies. What the theories are? A formulation, and overall we can define it, a formulation regarding the cause and effect relationship between two or more variables which may or may not have been tested. So it is tested by the studies in research studies. So generally, the theories could be presented in a threefold typology: grand, middle range, and substantive theories. And it's presented in a pyramid, and you go up and go down. Here, from the substantive theories, to the grand theories, you will see that the capacity to change the way we think about the world will be narrow from bottom to top. At the top of the theories in this typology, there are grand theories. At the middle level, and as you can understand from the concept, middle range theories. At the bottom of this pyramid, and there are substantive theories. Okay, from top to bottom in this pyramid, there's an increased restrictions in terms of general applicability. So here, let's define it, grand theories. Those theories are thought to be province of natural scientists, so that will lead to a whole new way of thinking about management. So some of the scientific theories coming from the different backgrounds of natural sciences are implemented in management field as well, such as system thinking. System thinking is implemented through the science of biology. And so, as you know, that as its nature, it's not easy to change them, the grand theories. Middle range theories, which lack the capacity to change the way in which we think about the world, but are nonetheless of significance. Some of the theories of human motivation well known to managers will be in this category. And substantive theories that are restricted to a particular time, research, setting, group, or population of all. It means that there is a case in this organization and it is implemented by a way, but it may not work in a different organization. So it could be changing, and or it has flexibility to change. Or you have conducted a study in a certain time of period. Let's say that you took a study between 2000 and 2010, years of 2000 and 2010, and the output of the study is different from the study between 2010 to 2020. So it was specific to that period of time, now it is specific to this period of time. And in theoretical perspective, we could define the 2D approaches, deductive and inductive approach. The discussion of the theory does assume that a clear theoretical position is developed prior to the collection of the data. This is deductive approach. Another one is the inductive approach. This will not always be the case, but it may be that your study is based on the principles of development theory after data have been collected. First, what we do, in deductive approach, we start our research journey from the theory. Theoretical lights will shed our way. So based on the theoretical and the discussion, step by step, we will go further in our study. But in inductive one, at the end of the study, based on the findings, what we are doing, we are building our theory. This is inductive approach. Okay, so how will we write our research proposal? And if we could define some steps in this process, first we need to organize our ideas. Because these ideas will help us to convince the audience. Audience means panel members. If you are proposing a thesis or project proposal, it means that it should be approved. Who is going to approve it? Whoever is involved in that thing, they should be convinced by your approach. And to contract with your client, it might be your tutor or your supervisor, and you need certainly to meet the ethical requirements. What should be involved in your research proposal? First, of course, there should be a title. More likely to change during the process, this title. Mostly it changes. And later, you need to describe the purpose of the project. You need to be clear, concise, avoid jargon and abbreviations, avoid rhetoric or asking questions, and you should indicate the scope of the project in your title. And you should give a background to the problem or to study. And be identifying aim of the study. What will you have in the end of the study? And research questions and objectives. What do you seek to achieve? synonymous with the aim purpose of the research project, can be broken into sub-questions as well. Objectives should show how the aim is to be achieved. Objectives should be more specific, should start with to do something, to achieve something. Ideal number of the objectives should be from 3 to 4 depending on your level. And objectives outline the different tasks of the project should be in sequence. So what method are you going to use in your research? So here the research design and data collection will be in place. And you need to define also time scale and resources. What resources are you going to use, and what is the time scale to finish the project. In the end of your research proposal, you need to provide some references as well. References means in order to propose the idea, research idea, you should have some resources to look at it, and then to be inspired and to benefit. So you will be listing in the end of your research proposal. For example, our research project title is Effectiveness of Lidl's United Kingdom Expansion Strategy. So this is our title. What could be our aim? To determine, as you can see, objective or aim of the study is starting with to determine the effectiveness of Lidl's UK expansion strategy. A main research question: has Lidl's UK expansion strategy achieved its set targets? Very simple question. And to describe Lidl's UK expansion strategy and its set targets, to explore the challenges to Lidl's UK expansion strategy, to assess the implementation of Lidl's UK expansion strategy, to evaluate the effectiveness of Lidl's UK expansion strategy in terms of its set targets. And here, how will we evaluate research proposal, how the components of proposal fit together, viability of the proposal, absence of preconceived ideas. Okay, thanks for today.